What is up, guys? It is Christ, and we are back with another video. Welcome back to Unofficial Dream Theater Thursday. I unfortunately had to record today because yesterday, I'm still awake, recording in the same day, but you guys are getting it on Friday. Um, I went to go try and record on Thursday, but the construction crew unexpectedly came back and started banging on the ceiling again, so therefore I couldn't record, and I only had time to record like one or two videos when they were gone. I just sat down to record This Dying Soul live at Budokan and also Endless Sacrifice live at Budokan. Unfortunately, Endless Sacrifice got blocked, and so I was hoping that it wouldn't happen to This Dying Soul, but I was also scared that it would. So therefore, I recorded it separately, and unfortunately, you guys are not going to be able to see that for I don't even know, because the song got blocked as well, and I am glad I did not record it in the same video as this, because then it would have gotten blocked. So unfortunately, This Dying Soul you guys are not getting today that I'm aware of. They could just approve the appeal or whatever, and that'll be that. You guys can see it, but if not, there's nothing I could do. So we're gonna be checking out Vacant, Streams of Consciousness, and what was the last song? In the Name of God. So therefore, there is 3 songs that we're going to be checking out today. Sorry, once again, I could not do This Dying Soul for you guys. I really wanted to do that. Actually, I already have it. I thought it was awesome, but unfortunately, you guys are not going to be able to see that. Anyways, so the 5th song on Dream Theater's 2003 album, Train of Thought, this is Looking at Genius, is about the feelings of helplessness James Labrie felt and his wife felt when their daughter suffered a seizure and went to a coma. So it sounds like this is a pretty serious and personal song for him. He says, Labrie himself explained further in a forum post, Vacant is a very powerful lyric. 3 days before my daughter's 7th birthday, she had a seizure and went into a coma for 3.5 hours. Oh my gosh. The doctors told my wife and I she might have a stroke. While they were about to do a CAT scan, Chloe, which I'm assuming is his daughter, came out of it. It was a miracle, and never again did she have an incident with this type of situation. The doctors never did give us a full diagnosis as to what really happened. Quite honestly, he thinks they were just as baffled as they were. Nothing before or since has ever left me feeling as distraught or helpless. Good news, she is perfectly healthy and singing her butt off, which is awesome to hear, but it's also really sad because there could be some underlying issues that are not going to be discovered until she gets older. Um, and that's terrible. I've seen a stroke firsthand, and it's terrible, absolutely terrible. And I can only imagine what it would feel like if it was your daughter. Anyways, we're going to be checking out both Streams of Consciousness and Vacant Uninterrupted. So therefore, we're going to do an interpretation for Streams of Consciousness, and then we're going to get into the songs. So it says the 6th track on Dream Theater's 2003 album Train of Thought, Streams of Consciousness, is a heavy instrumental that directly follows the previous track Vacant. It is the longest instrumental track they've ever recorded in the studio, clocking at 11 minutes and 16 seconds. That is really cool. I'm definitely excited to hear that. Yeah, so it looks like it's going to be kind of an interesting song combination because you got the instrumental side and you have the really impactful lyrics on the first part of it. Anyways, I apologize. This video is 4 minutes long already. Let's go ahead and get into it. Now the audio quality, for some reason, was always worse when I upload it to YouTube. It always sounds crystal clear on my computer. Kind of a very sad and somber sound to it.
Hey you, hey you, I'm right here, conscience fading.
love it. I'm not even kidding. Love the riffs in this song. Death solo, huh? Woo! Yes! Absolutely amazing. Please tell me they envelope the song. Please. Come on. I need to hear them envelope it. They do this. I love it when they do it. Come on. Give me that nice clean intro that they did. Oh, yes. Yes. I am totally glad I called that. Yes. I love it when they envelope songs with the intro. I love it when songs do that in general. Like especially with like stuff like To Live is to Die, that nice like intro, and then you have the whole like like 12-step suite, how it begins and ends with sort of like the same riff. It doesn't quite begin with the same one, but like it has a very amazing callback. I love it when songs envelope. Like A Nightmare to Remember is another one that I can think of off the top of my head, and it's awesome. I love it when songs do this. So yeah. So I'm sorry guys. Uh I love the Dance of Eternity, but like there's no comparison. This one blew for me the Dance of Eternity out of the water. Now, keep in mind, I still listen to the Dance of Eternity all the time, and I can definitely say I am going to be picking up this record I after I review it. Like I already have my eyes set on a particular copy on eBay. I can't really find any new copies, but I'm going to be getting a pre-owned copy, and I have my eyes set on it. So it's awesome. This record is, I can safely say, my second favorite record by Dream Theater. Um, but let's wait until the final song before we do a final review. We'll get into a discussion afterwards. And it is almost 3 o'clock in the morning. I do not care. Like I am so pumped to hear this last song. I have been waiting for a week to do this because I have been so excited. Anyways, the last song is The Name of God. So we're gonna be doing a little bit of a analysis for um, both Vacant and Streams of Consciousness. Um, there was a couple, so I may not have reacted to every single solo, but that's because I was just taking it all in. I was just falling in love with the song. There was times where I know that there was solos, but I was just so lost in the song that I didn't even register because it was just so immersive and it just pulls you and sucks you in. I love it when songs do that. And this song was definitely no different. Of God. No, not gosh. There we go. Okay. We're gonna get this queued up, and then we're gonna talk about
You want to finish this?
this. Yeah. Hate ads. I wish I had some advanced editing software that I could just use to cut this crap out. If you guys have any suggestions, that'd be great. So, I loved Vacant, and it made you feel so sad. It made you feel like you wanted to just sit there and cry. You've really felt the anguish that James LaBrie felt for his child, wondering if his daughter would ever wake up from this coma. And it's just, I can't even imagine something like that. It'd be so terrible, and it would tear you up. Like the lyrics when he said his. Let me go back specifically to look at what it said. So when it says, this is where I almost cried. I'm like, I'm not even kidding. He said, helpless, confused, uh, head swayed, eyes glazed, and mind teared. She's losing control. What can I do? Her vacant eyes, black holes. Am I losing you? This is just so, like, I can just imagine myself as a parent in his position, wondering if my daughter's gonna die, and it's just, it tears you up inside, and I'm it takes a special musician to like pull me um in less than like a minute to well, it's actually almost 3 minutes now that I look at it, but in that amount of time I was on the verge of crying, like I'm not even gonna lie. And it takes a special musician, I guess, just because I'm uh getting really attached to Dream Theater, and this journey that I'm on is just absolutely amazing, and I can't thank you guys enough for suggesting them. Streams of Consciousness, on the other hand, was it sort of kept the same theme as Vacant, but it says here that it has a lot of the same chord progressions and stuff. I didn't really notice that. I'm not really big into music theory and that kind of stuff, so I don't really notice that kinds of stuff when I do hear it. It takes repeated listens in order for me to like catch stuff, and this is definitely going to be no different. I'll be listening to this record, then I'll be like, oh, I recognize this from that part of that song, and that's it. I'm still discovering like new like links and intricacies in Metropolis Part Two. That's like how long it takes me to like I guess see any sort of like connection between songs. I'm still discovering them. Um, Streams of Consciousness was absolutely amazing. And there was a couple of solos where I was listening to and I completely forgot that they were Rudess solos. There was one in particular. I was going to say something, but I decided to wait until afterwards. And I completely had forgotten it was a Rudess solo because he was playing it so well. And he was, uh, he's just an absolutely amazing keyboard player. There's no wonder and no doubt in my mind why he's called the Wizard. He is absolutely amazing. And he can play with just as much passion as he can technicality, and I love him. Anyways, I'm going to quit blabbering about that. We're going to be checking out In the Name of God now. I lied. We're only 5 seconds in. We're going to be doing a lyrical breakdown first. I completely forgot to do that. Sorry about that. Might get a couple angry comments for that. And he says, the seventh and final track on Dream Theater's 2003 album Train of Thought. It was written by guitarist John Petrucci. In the Name of God deals with suicide bombers and other terrible people who kill for religion, all while wondering why they would do such things for religions that supposedly advocate for peace. Um, I'm not going to get into that. I am going to leave the lyrical interpretation alone. I do not take sides in religion. I do not take sides in politics on this channel, and I will never take sides on anything. So I am not touching this topic with a 10-foot pole. So we're going to be checking this out simply from a musical standpoint. I, of course, do have my own opinions, and I am going to keep them to myself. To myself. Uh, I want to create a unified channel, not a divided one against beliefs, because we're all here to celebrate music, right? We're not here to fight about beliefs and politics and that kind of stuff. This channel was made to get away from that stuff. So, yeah, let's go ahead and check it out from a musical standpoint. Very nice, clean intro. Ooh, yes!
How can this be? Why is he the chosen one? Saints gone astray.
Oh, hit me with that
With a
synthesizer. Yes!
scepter and a gun.
Ooh, I love that.
Learn to believe in the mighty and the strong. Come, meet the beast. Follow me, it won't be long.
I love the symphonic chorus. Choir, there you go.
Speaks to you, caring in the name of God. Passion, twisting faith into violence in the name of God. Straight is the path leading to your salvation. Slaking the weak and the elimination. Any day will all be swept away. You'll be saved as long as you obey. Lies, the doors of the devil inside, wicked and holy disguise, the master deceive and divide our soul. Listen, what my prophet speaks to you, caring in the name of God. Passion, twisting faith into violence in the name of God. Blurring the lines between virtue and sin, they can't tell where God ends and mankind begins. They know no other love but that. From the cradle they're clean. Listen, when the prophet speaks to you, caring in the name of God. Passion, twisting faith into violence in the name of God.
Come on, give me something. Yeah, Myung. Myung. Ooh, you guys know I love layering.
Just keep fighting violence, siding from the holy book, teaching hatred in the name of God.
Yeah, solo. Really cool instrumental sections in this song. I love my own space lines. I don't know why I keep saying that. Oh man. Some really cool instrumental sections in here. Definitely a lot of really cool solos. Ooh, that sounds almost like a video game. Yes. I love that riff. It was so good. I believe that this people were saying that this um, that the final note on this leads into the next note of the next album, which is pretty cool. I don't know if it ended with Train of Thought or if it continues for another album or two. Um, but I have a quick comment. I apologize if you see me um yawn. I'm not bored of this song. It's literally past 3 o'clock in the morning, and I have been up at this point for almost 24 hours. So if you guys see me yawn, please don't take it personally. It's not because I'm bored of the music. It's because I literally am just so exhausted. So I have a couple of comments to make here before we get into. I guess it is all sort of like a musical analysis. But here at the end, like the rest of the song was talking about. Now I'm not taking sides. I'm saying this from a neutral standpoint, from what I see the lyrics, criticizing Islam. That's what the lyrics are about. But here at the end, there is called a background chart. And I don't know what this is in reference to. I don't know it. You guys will have to fill me in on this because this doesn't look like it's from the Quran. I would say that this looks more like it's from the Bible or maybe a hymn or something, but it says, "Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He hath loosed the fateful lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on." And then it says, "Glory, glory, hallelujah," and it repeats that 3 times. I don't know if this is like sort of like meant to sort of not really contradict, but contrast is a better word to use. The rest of the song. Uh, Let me fill me in with as much detail as you can at the end here with this background chant because it doesn't seem to fit the rest of the song, which is why I'm asking. Um, Other than that, I am not getting into a lyrical analysis. Um, I'm sorry, it's just I try to keep things as neutral as possible on this channel. Um, So I can say that this, from a musical standpoint, was absolutely amazing. I loved the different solos that each of the person was doing. Mayung even had his own, uh, a couple different times, or maybe 3 times, he had these really cool bass riffs and bass parts, and I thought that was really cool. And Petrucci was absolutely amazing with his solos in this song, to the point where he was playing so fast that it all sounded like one. It all kind of like blended into one note. It seemed like one long sustained note, and that's really cool. Um, Portnoy also had some really cool drum parts on this song as well. A lot of times it would be coupled with Mayung's bass parts, which is it sounded really cool. And Rudess, of course, he had some really cool keyboard parts as well. And overall, this was an absolutely amazing song, full of memorable riffs, full of memorable solos, full of memorable bass lines, and keyboard parts. It was absolutely amazing. There's nothing more I could ask. Um, so yeah, that's gonna be it for this album reaction. Now, if I had to rate this, I'm trying to be super critical. I'm like trying to put my snobby critic um, thinking in. And if I was a snobby critic, I would rate this 4.5. Simply because this album was one of my favorites, I would say. I'm trying to put my words carefully because I don't want to put the other albums down. Um, Distance Over Time was absolutely amazing. It's cool to see the Mangini side of things, and Images and Words was awesome. It's a great starting point, um, and it helped introduce a lot of the concepts that Dream Theater still uses today. And of course, it's got one of my favorite songs on it, Metropolis Part 1, as well as Pull Me Under, Under a Glass Moon, and I believe Learning to Live. All those songs are absolutely amazing. But Train of Thought consistently, and I mean consistently, I loved every single song. The only one I could really think of that I didn't like as much as the others, but keep in mind, like when I say this, I'm not just trying to sugarcoat it. I mean, I really liked Honor Thy Father. It was a really good song. I even made a dedicated video on it, a discussion video on it. Um, but it's not quite on the same level to me as the others, and that's not sugarcoating. Like I love that song, but I love the other ones more. Um, this is definitely my second favorite album. I have told you guys that I am a fan of the heavier side of things, and this album delivered. And there was a lot of like thrashy parts in this, which I love thrash metal. And there was a lot where I'm like, I could see Metallica doing this, or I could see Megadeth, Anthrax doing this. Not necessarily Slayer, but like the more melodic I mean, not death metal, thrash metal bands. I could see them doing stuff like this, and it was awesome. I loved it. Now it blew every other like thrash metal album out of the water, obviously, but that's because it wasn't entirely thrash metal. There was just so many amazing sections in this. Now, if I had to give, uh, let's see, I'm gonna do a top. I can't do a top five because that just excludes two songs. I'm gonna have to do a top three. So let's see. If I had to pick three songs that were my absolute favorite on this record, I would have to pick uh, Endless Sacrifice is number one, and this is a contrast because I told you guys in the previous one that it was As I Am. But Endless Sacrifice is number one, As I Am is number two, and actually no, As I Am is number three. Streams of Consciousness is number two, and As I Am is number three. So in other words, in order it goes Endless Sacrifice, As I Am, and then Streams of Consciousness. So that is the order of my favorites on this album. However, we're going to be talking about each individual one. Now, As I Am is a pretty awesome song. I would consider it like the most thrashy out of all of them. It's definitely an absolutely amazing opener, and it's one that I could see, like I said, Megadeth or Anthrax or Metallica making. And James LaBrie even has that edge on his voice that like James Hetfield would use, which to me that was awesome. Um, and there was just so many absolutely amazing parts. Now this Dying Soul, I love it for different reasons. Um, there's a lot of sections that were pulled. I wouldn't say a lot. I would say some sections that were pulled from the Glass Prison, but it didn't just pull them straight from it. It expanded on them. For example, the one riff in This Dying Soul was also used, I believe, in the Glass Prison, but they took it and they expanded on the riff, which was really cool to see, as well as they took some of the lyrics and put it in this song, but they changed some of them, and then they put other lyrics like in the same sort of vein in that song to like sort of contrast. He was saying, I believe, "Help me" at the start, and then at the end he was talking about breaking out of the prison, um, which was really cool. So that's what I think of This Dying Soul. I think it took a lot of the really cool elements of the Glass Prison and expanded upon them, as well as sort of continuing the story with um, with the 12-step suite. Now, Endless Sacrifice is one that um, I I didn't really let's see, it's not that I didn't like it, but I was put off by the sort of romantic lyrics, like he's missing a loved one. But the more I listened to the song, because I was listening to it because I was getting myself prepared, and I found myself listening to that one on repeat way more than As I Am. And then I started noticing all these intricacies, and how Petrucci was playing with such passion, and the song is just absolutely amazing. Endless Sacrifice is by far my favorite song on the record, and it was As I Am. And this is the reason I don't like to give my thoughts on songs right away, is because a lot of times it takes me a few listens before I really discover my favorites on a record. Now, Honor Thy Father is a really cool song. I like it more for the lyrical aspect though, because of what I believe it was Mike Portnoy, his story with his stepfather, and it's something that a lot of people can relate to. The music was also really good, but I definitely preferred the lyrics more in this song. I told you guys that in the previous video, and I'm still sticking to that today. I think the lyrics are much better, even though the music is really cool too. Um, I think the lyrics are really where this song shines. Now, Vacant leads right into Streams of Consciousness, and I've already told you guys my opinion on that. It has a really somber, really sad and depressing atmosphere. And then, sorry, I didn't mean to burp. And then you have James LaBrie just singing his absolute heart out, singing his emotions, saying how he was so terrified that his daughter wouldn't wake up from this coma, and it really made you, it really made you feel like you were in that position, and it was just, it's heartbreaking to think about. Like I don't even want to think about it. I was almost crying during this song. Streams of Consciousness is the next one we're going to be talking about, and it was absolutely amazing from start to finish. I told you guys before, I loved how it enveloped the song with the acoustic beginning and ending as well. There was so many, I can't even remember how many solos and riffs that were in this song. It was just absolutely amazing. The riffs, I was so immersed in this song that at times like I wasn't even thinking about like recording. I was just simply taking it in. And though those are the songs I really appreciate. Those are the songs that I end up really loving in the long run. And I can definitely say that when it comes to the Dance of Eternity or Streams of Consciousness, I will definitely pick Streams of Consciousness. Now I believe that Streams of Consciousness was one that people have been suggesting for a while. And so I'm definitely glad I finally got to react to that and exceeded every expectation I had for the song. Now, in the name of God, I am not going to get into a lyrical analysis, but I will say again that just like Streams of Consciousness, there was an absolutely, like, I can't even remember all of the absolutely amazing riffs on the first listen to of this song. There was so many cool things that they were doing with this song, as well as the drums were absolutely amazing, and the little drum fills and sections that Portnoy, and Mayung were doing to support like the lead instrument were absolutely amazing to see, as well as the keyboard. It's just absolutely amazing to see. Now, I do have a couple of criticisms of this album. I wouldn't I wouldn't say criticisms, just like things I noticed. Um, So definitely forget I said criticisms because they're not criticisms, but rather things I noticed in this that I didn't really see a whole lot of in other records, or rather stuff from other records is absent in this one, and that would be Rudess took a much more I would say supportive role. Now he definitely like led some parts, and he led the crap out of some parts. But for the most part, it seems to me, now it could be just because I'm getting used to Rudess's playing, but to me, it seemed like he didn't have as much lead roles as much as support roles in this record. Um, you can always feel free to correct me if I am wrong. I will fully admit when I'm wrong, and it's not like it's a problem because I love this record. I've told you guys it's my second favorite. I will definitely be buying it now. But yeah, I didn't really notice as much Rudess parts, and also I didn't notice as much experimentation with this record um, that I had noticed in previous records, like 6 Degrees of Inner Turbulence and Metropolis Part 2, and even Images and Words. There was a lot of improvisation with different types of instruments and effect pedals, and I didn't really notice a whole lot of it. But the stuff that I did notice was awesome, but it was mostly coming from Rudess, and that was really when he was leading. It seemed like he was taking advantage of uh, of when he was leading. He was trying to do a bunch of different stuff, which was really cool to see. Overall, like I said, this album gets a 4.5 out of 5. Um, and I feel I feel like ashamed to even say that because like this record was absolutely amazing. Um, but I'm trying to get like super professional here, even though like this channel is by no means professional. Um, 4.5 is what I will give this record. With yeah, that's what I will give this record, and that is going to be the discussion for this part of this video. So I have a couple of things I do want to talk about still. I've been giving it some thought about streaming, and I've came up with something. I want to run it by you guys. Before I do the 700 subscriber special, I actually just hit 700 subscribers before I started uploading, before I started recording. I'm thinking about um, instead of streaming on this channel, I can just go stream on like Twitch. I could stream all the live reactions I want to, and have no fear of it getting blocked at all whatsoever. And that would be absolutely amazing if I could do that. And Jamie, if you are watching, look into that because I have seen a whole bunch of other streamers on Twitch stream reactions all the time. So maybe that's something that I could do. Maybe that's something you could do if you are watching, like I said. Um, so if you guys want to see more like live streams, it would have to be over there, but I would record it at the same time and I would upload it in chunks on YouTube. because I like to keep that memory. Like the 6 degrees of inner turbulence was like that was one of my greatest memories I will ever have on this channel. Just being able to hang out with you guys live, talk to you guys live. It was it was incredible. I loved it. And I want to do it again. I want to hang out with you guys live again. I was able to answer all you guys' questions, and it was really like a growing and sort of bonding experience on this channel that I've never had before. And it was awesome. I would like to do that again. And um, so Twitch is an option I'm throwing out there for you guys if you guys wanted to see that. Anyways, this video is almost an hour long. It is going to take much longer than that to upload. Um, Thank you guys so much for watching. If you stuck around to the very end, you guys are hardcore. You guys are amazing, and I don't know what I would do with you without you guys. I don't know if I would have. I don't know. I honestly don't even know where my life would be headed because Dream Theater is one of those bands where it's just absolutely changed my perspective on not just music but life. Like I have just become a genuinely happier person since I started listening to Dream Theater. It feels like they are hitting a spot that I have been trying to itch my whole life. And in Dream Theater, I find satisfaction that I don't find in hardly anything else. And I am just so thankful that you guys are along on the ride with me. If you guys stuck around to the very end, I very much appreciate it. And you guys are the unsung heroes of this channel that are just amazing supporters of this channel, and I can't thank you guys enough. So with that out of the way, guys, this is Big Christ, and I will see you next time. I still have one more video to record after this. Press F to pay respects. We'll see you later.